Can stress kill a person?
It can, but not as swiftly as an 8-meter rocket.
When blood hits the battleground, will you fight or will you fall? When you hear the sirens sound, is there trembling in your bones?
Це моя рідна земля. Снаряд, это просто пиздец.
I live in Ukraine and have been here since the very first day of the war, the largest war since the World War II. Every day I hear explosions of shells. Fighter jets fly over my home producing a sound so loud it shatters our windows. Within a 20-kilometer radius from me, several schools has been destroyed, and the number of casualties from enemy's attacks increases daily. I don't know if a bomb will hit my home next, and I can't leave the country, as well as my family. I know what it's like to live under killing stress, and in this video I'll share how I cope with it. Okay guys, I don't wanna complain, and the idea underlying this video is how to withstand stress, and I promise I will open the topic. But I just need to share the pain my country is going through. We are literally dying as a nation, and we did nothing to deserve it. So just let me speak it out. I've been thinking all my life that all the problem we created with our own hands. Our parents and grandparents built this kind of inheritance. But it's fair only when it comes to our financial status, corruption in governance, and all internal concerns. But what did we do to get this? I thank you all for staying watch, and as promised, I get back directly to the topic. What I do to deal with the enormous levels of stress. In my case, watching the news is just about the worst thing you can do. But even a country is not at war, the news is filled with negativity and you are soaking it up without even realizing it. It's really hard to stay mentally healthy when day in and day out you're being told that everything's going downhill, a financial crisis will take away jobs, World War III is inevitable, and we are all doomed. Just stop watching the news. First off, you can't change anything on a global scale. Secondly, news outlets are all about getting reactions from viewers and readers. And these scary headlines do the trick. That's why they come up with a bunch of terrifying stories every day. So by ditching the news, you are not missing out on anything. In fact, you are gaining something, like a healthy mind. I've always been a big fan of sports and have been active my whole life. But when the war started, I had to figure out how to work online and basically spent 99% of my time at home. Because of this, my workouts came to a sudden halt. For almost a year, I was glued to my laptop, just sitting and sitting some more. In just a year, my posture worsened. I noticed I was gaining some extra pounds. It's become a struggle even to do 5 pull-ups, even though at my peak I was able to do 5 with extra 35 kilograms, and without any weight I could do over 20. But the decrease in physical strength wasn't even the worst part. Sitting all the time meant my back was constantly pressed against the chair. My skin couldn't breathe, leading to acne, dark circles under my eyes, a weakened immune system, and most distressingly for me, frequent trips to the bathroom at night. And all of this at 30. It's been a nightmare. I'm still battling many of these issues, but they are slowly getting better, just not as quick as I'd like. The main takeaway? Sports need to be a consistent part of everyone's life. It's not just about keeping your body in shape and preventing it from falling apart. It shakes up your mind, energizes it, clears out negative thoughts, and puts you in a positive mood. You feel great about yourself after a tough workout. And that's all thanks to the hormone release after exercise. You've gotta fall in love with sports, and trust me, it will pay you back big time. Honestly, I never believed that breathing technique could have any real effect. I was pretty sure that people just had too much time on their hands. Boy, was I wrong. I've only practiced one breathing technique and it worked so well that I didn't bother looking for anything else. It's the technique of the Iceman, Wim Hof. He's a remarkable guy with a bunch of records, all related to the cold temperature. So he developed this technique and according to him, it impacts your entire body, saturating every cell with oxygen and triggering a bunch of beneficial processes. But what mattered to me was the immediate effect I felt during my very first session. It was just incredible. I hadn't felt such lightness and peace in my body for a long time. I remember it like it was yesterday. I played a video on YouTube and follow along with the instructor. By the third set, I was so deep into it that the voice became faint. I could have taken a breath by the timer, but I didn't need to. I was in a state of complete tranquility. I highly recommend you to give it a try. Just search on YouTube Wim Hof breathing technique and go for it. Or stay tuned for my video. I will definitely make one where I will dive deeper into it and show you how it's done. People often fall into a safety trap. The brain realizes there aren't any enemies or predators around that might bite your head off. So it starts searching for life purposes or something else. But we can create a controlled danger where you can't really get hurt, but it will stop your brain from sweating the small stuff. I've always been a big fan of cold therapies, and it's become quite a trend online in recent years. Ice baths, cryo chambers. You can use these tools to convince your brain that your body is on the blink of doom. You'll get such a rush of feel-good hormones that you'll be blown away. It's wipe away any mental distress, and to your health would get a boost. Win-win. Just a heads up though, don't do this if you are feeling under the weather or sick. You should be in a great shape before starting. Keep that in mind. I wouldn't even call it a rule. It's more like a belief that brings nothing but benefits. The challenge though is getting yourself to stick to this belief. You kinda have to grow into it. I was sitting in my parents' old house in a tiny village. No renovations, no entertainment, nowhere to go. I can't even step outside the gate. I sat there wondering how long it could last. A year, 2, maybe 5. I knew that no matter how things turned out, if I just wallowed in despair and did nothing, it wouldn't get any better. I made a decision to do what's in my power. I had the internet and loads of time. I started looking for ways to earn money. Since that moment I have worked out every day and began learning English. By the way, that's how my YouTube channel was born. When the war ends and if I'm still around, I wanna dive back into life with money, knowledge and in great shape. I want to be proud of myself, like what I see in the mirror, and not to be some overweight, gloomy, broken guy. Just ask yourself, where do you want to be in 5 years? Picture this ideal version of yourself in your mind. And now, get off your butt and start doing something.
In this video I mentioned bad posture. I've already made a video on how to fix it, so feel free to watch it. Here it is.
And as always, see you in the top.